to the Placement Interviews mini-series, Episode 1, Interview Overview. Interview Overview. What is the purpose of a placement interview, and how does the purpose differ between the student and the staff or employer? From the student's perspective, the purpose is to get the placement and gain work experience. But it is also a chance to learn more about the position, company, and culture to see if it's a good match for them. Use the interview as an opportunity to ask questions and gain insight that you wouldn't be able to find on your own or online. For the interviewer, it's a chance to learn about the student's skills, experience, personality, and overall ability to interact with others. So it's important to use storytelling and show your personality. We'll discuss more on this later in the webinar. Types of interviews. For some programs, a placement interview might take place with the George Brown College field placement staff, and in others, it might be with the employer themselves. Here's a quick summary of the different kinds of interviews you might encounter for your placement. The one-to-one interview. This is the most common type of interview, where an interviewer meets with the interviewee and both have the opportunity to ask questions. A group interview involves two or more applicants being interviewed together and is often used to screen through a large number of candidates in fewer meetings. This allows the employer to avoid a long interview process and be able to make decisions quicker. The interviewees in the group may be asked to take turns answering the same questions as each other, or they may be asked different questions. Remember, be courteous and professional not just to the interviewers, but to the other candidates as well. Telephone or video interviews. These are often used to pre-screen candidates and decide who will be invited for an in-person interview. Prepare for a phone or video interview the same way that you would for an in-person interview, but include a little extra preparation time beforehand to prevent technical issues from delaying your start time. Practical or test interviews involve you completing a task that you would likely perform during your placement. For example, if you are applying for a social work position, you might be paired with someone assigned to be your client and asked to help them solve a common problem. In a panel interview, you will meet with several individuals at one time who will each take turns asking questions and may include people you will be working with during the placement. Be sure to keep eye contact with each person with special attention to the individual who asked the question. Interview Overview. Considerations. If you've determined that you'll need additional supports during your placement, here are some other things to think about. Taking extra time to prepare for the interview may include any transportation planning for getting to the interview, booking an interpreter or other communication support, and planning what to ask and how to respond to questions in a positive, strengths-focused way. You may also meet with your accessibility consultant before the interview to assess the placement for potential barriers and, if needed, explore resources and strategies to remove barriers and practice discussing these solutions for the interview. Preparing these things ahead of time will help you to feel more prepared and confident. The more confident you feel, the more effectively you can present yourself and your skills. This concludes our video on placement interview preparation. Hope you found it helpful. If you do still have questions, please meet with your placement coordinator, accessibility consultant, or your career advisor.